Hello everyone and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Cat-made outfit won the poll today for the costume, so that's what we're doing. Hi everyone. I will be doing a stream a little later with Cassifel where we're going to be talking about comic books, and in particular we're going to be talking about the new run of Ultimate Spider-Man, which I caught up with today. So far, the first 6 issues, it's excellent. If you haven't read it yet and you're a big Spider-Man fan, would recommend. So we'll be talking about that later, but until then, we will be talking about Sovereign Citizens, Chile DeCastro, what he's been up to since he released, and hanging out and generally having a good time. How's everyone doing? Let me turn my fan down a little. Alright. Let's see what's going on, shall we? Let me see what I missed in chat. Briar Rose 1984, thanks for a 43 stream streak, says happy hump day. 19 days till I can head to Scotland and Ireland. I'm so excited, it's all I can think about. Well, that'll be fun. Let us know how that goes. That sounds like a great time. Phoenix Leftist with a 145 stream streak says, wow, thank you Hannah and chat for a great community and safe space. Thanks for being a part of it. We appreciate it. Hello Nemesaur, glad your meetings are over for the day. And we're all caught up. YouTube, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, like the stream. It would help, it only takes a second. What happened with Paul in the Spider-Man run? Is he still with MJ? No. Without too many spoilers. No, she's not with Paul anymore, I don't believe. I haven't really read that run, though, because I've heard it's terrible. Cassifel and I have had discussions, because we're both fans of comic books. Cassifel more than me. Cassifel knows about comic books like I know about movies. I'm a pretty casual comic book fan, in that I enjoy it and I enjoy certain runs, but I'm not, like, religious about keeping up with it. Usually every few years I'll go and find some, like, good series and catch up a little bit, but I'm not, like, super submerged in it. So, mostly I've heard about that run through Cassifel, who's told me about it and sent me memes, and it seems very funny. I do find the Peter Parker cuck memes to be hilarious for some reason. So feel free to share them if you have any Peter Parker cuckold memes. There's a juggle command. Let me find my third juggling ball. Around here somewhere, I'd imagine. Couldn't have gotten too far. Where are you? Where did it go? It's 3 of them. You need the third one. Ah. Where'd go, ball? If only I could lose my other balls this easily. Ba-doonch. I mean, I have a ball of tinfoil on the ground. Does that count? I could use that as the third ball, I guess. We can try. Give it a shot. Oh, it's a totally different weight. That's difficult. I found it! I found it. There you go. Alright, so let's get into it. We'll start with some Sobsit stuff. Not Chile yet. We will get to that, but I wanted to start with something else, give people some time to come in.
How are you this morning?
Did you say your name was Sergeant what now?
Henthor, and my badge number is 104. The reason I stopped you, your tags are...
We've seen this Sovereign Citizen before. This is a more recent stop. This was about 2 months ago. The last time we saw him was 5 months ago, I believe. Trey, what would you like me to wear for the hats off? Make sure it's something that can fit with this outfit.
Bit expired. Were you aware of that?
I've been pulled over several times for that, and I've gone over this with a lot of officers, and it's not ever really been an issue, so I'm not sure why it's an issue now.
Okay. Well, you have to have updated registration.
Does humidity curl my hair? Humidity blows my hair out. I've been spritzing it a lot to keep it... to try and keep it moisturized.
Your license, registration, insurance?
I don't consent to...
Get the gavel? Easy peasy. I won't even charge you for that. You can have that hats off for free. I already had the gavel here and I was probably going to use it. So, that one's free for you, Trey.
Any of that, I don't comply. I'm not going to comply with any of your unlawful orders. A lot of times this ends up being a real big issue.
You are required to present identification on a traffic stop. If you don't want to do that, it is a crime. It's failed to
Well,
present. I
no,
don't want this to rise to a criminal level.
no, it's not a
Simply asking
criminal.
you for your driver's document.
No, it's not a criminal.
I'm not a cat girl. I'm a cat woman.
I don't consent and I don't comply to your unlawful mandates.
Will you give me your name and date of birth, sir?
I will not be giving you that information.
Okay. Step out of the car. You're under arrest.
No, I'm not under arrest.
Wow, that was quick. That was under a minute. That was 53 seconds into the video. You're under arrest. No, I'm not under arrest. I like the prolific use of the Uno reverse card in sovereign citizen situations. It's interesting. Generty, thanks for a 5-stream streak, says all I could think reading that title was, wait, do you have to pay for chili before?
I'm not
Generally, I don't go around stealing chili. Be shitty.
under arrest. I don't consent to your arrest. And I will happily wait for your second unit. I'm not a threat. I don't consent to give ID, sir. That's different than a refusal.
I mean, if you refuse to present ID, you're going to get in trouble. Because when you signed up for your license, you agreed that you will present it upon traffic stops. It's something that's in, like, the terms and conditions, basically. It's also the law. So, maybe do that.
Are you going to identify yourself or not?
I can do that.
Okay, that would be great. I would love if you would do that.
My name is David, and my last name is Zaragoza, with a Z-A-R.
Spell that one for me, David.
Z-A-R-A-G-O-Z-A, Zaragoza.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any weapons. I'm not a threat, I promise.
I find it so funny when the sovereign citizens will be like, I don't have a weapon, I promise. Do they not understand that you can't just promise things like that to people? There's a reason, because people will lie. People, if everyone universally believed people when they said, like, I promise, especially with strangers, it's one thing if it's someone you know and trust and have already existent abstract social relationships with that sort of bolster the promise. But if you're just some random asshole, why should I trust you in any way? It's not that I don't trust you personally, it's that if you're seeing hundreds of random people a week as a police officer or any public, like, office where you're going and seeing people constantly, you don't know the person. You don't know if they're trustworthy. Some people's promises are worth a lot. Some people's promises are worth nothing. So in a situation where you don't know the person, a promise is a mystery box, so it's not really worth anything. You can't just say, I promise I don't have a weapon, because if everyone believed that, there would be people who would be in an advantage who would lie and say, I don't have a weapon, in order to trick you. Don't know how you can't understand that. Get out of your situation. You know who you are. No one else does if you're a stranger. Bella Legozzi, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says, I'm a random asshole. You don't trust me? You know, you're actually part of my stream, and you subscribe, so I do trust you. And you too can have my trust for only however much a sub is per month.
Nice guy.
I don't consent to the unlawful mandates.
Okay.
Ever since the mask,
date of birth, David?
I don't consent to a date of birth. I wasn't birthed. Okay, you...
Oh. Were you one of the cabbage babies? Hydrate. Will do. Bumble Homestead, thanks for a 40-stream streak, says, the outside is scary right now, so I'm playing Stardew, where things make more sense. A raccoon has asked me for smoked perch, and I must oblige. That makes perfect sense to me. Fenekagami says, but Hannah, promises have magic powers is the entire basis of their worldview, so they have to believe that's a promise from them means something. I guess that's fair. They do have an overconfidence in the power of words. Ooh. My wife sent me a flirt text.
You can find me. I'm easy to find.
Just so we're clear, right now you're
And
not free to go.
I'm
You
in
are part of
Bandon.
a traffic stop. Don't go anywhere. Do anything.
No, well then can
What
you...
if you cheated and got Bezos to pay me? As long as I get paid, I don't care.
Can you read me my Miranda rights then if I'm not free to go?
You don't need your Miranda rights read unless you're being questioned in an investigation. Like if you're being interviewed, whatever.
All right, Mr.
Sir,
Jones,
I've already told you I'm not
you
a
are being
threat.
issued a citation for driving while suspended violation, expired registration, fail to carry and present proof.
Sir,
of
I'm not a
insurance.
threat. I don't have any weapons.
There's a court date and time down here. If you choose to do that, it's on the 5th of June at 8:30 at that courthouse right there.
I don't accept
If you
that.
decide to take care of it beforehand, the instructions are in the back.
You're forcing me to
Also,
contract. You're
just so you
forcing.
understand, this next part's going to be very important for you. So
What do I think Chilie will do now that he's free? A, he's trying to raise 100... Shocker, he's asking for more money. When he's in trouble, he's asking for money. And when he succeeds, he asks for money. What a douchebag. He's asking for $100,000 to try to sue the judge that initially convicted him. Which isn't going to happen, because she's protected. Because she has, why am I blanking on the term now? Qualified immunity. She has immunity for, like she has personal immunity for rulings done at the bench. Anyway, he's asking for 100 grand, so Chilie's gonna Chilie.
listen up.
Oh yeah, he won the appeal. It was fucking nuts. We're gonna talk about it when we get to his section. He won the appeal. The judge who was the appeal judge was shocking to me. I watched it live. You could tell she had already decided before the hearing. It was nuts. She was like arguing for Chilie's attorney, completing his sentences. It was nuts. But anyway, we'll cover that when we get to it. The state does have an opportunity to appeal the appeal. I don't know if they will, though, because it's a misdemeanor, and I don't know if that's worth their time or energy. So all we have now is an emboldened Chilie, which isn't good for anyone in his, like, personal life or radius.
If this vehicle is pulled over again in the next 20...
That's true. He did say if he wins, he'll have a rager with sex workers. He did not use the word sex workers. Robo Twilight, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says, hello, Hannah. Hello, chat. How's it going, Robo Twilight?
24 hours in the city of Coos Bay without a licensed, insured driver.
I'm traveling south
then
right
your
now,
vehicle
sir.
will be impounded.
You are
I'm not impounding it right now, but if you get pulled over again without proper license and insurance, your vehicle will be impounded. I just want to make
Poor
you...
sex workers, yeah. If Chilie somehow miraculously wins and you're a sex worker in Vegas, please be wary of any event hosted by Jose DeCastro.
You're
acutely
impeding.
aware of that.
You're impeding my
so that you
traveling right
understand.
now.
Yes, I am. I stopped.
You are
So that would be
impeding my
impeding your
traveling.
Yes, I
Traveling.
am.
That's a
what I do for
violation.
job. Here's
No,
your citation.
that's called human
Have a
trafficking.
good day. Don't drive
You're a-
again.
Wow, are we diluting the meaning of the word human trafficking so far that he thinks him being in a traffic stop is human trafficking? That's really unfortunate. Words used to mean something. I miss that.
Professional.
Do I think he'll work on his board game and book? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I need to change hydrate to this, and then there's a link.
2,000.
Moisturize me.
Moisturize me, moisturize me.
No human trafficker, sir. Have a good day.
I do. I need a personal spritzer. I'm not going to pay anyone, but if anyone wants to be my free intern and just stand to the side and spritz me with water bottles on my hair occasionally to keep it from drying out, that'd be great. Jojo
What
says,
law did
I usually like spice, but this time I could use less chili.
break, sir? What's your emergency?
Cassandra is trans, in kind of a problematic way.
How can I help you?
We're being recording stuff. Your tags are expired, sir.
Sir, what's your emergency? How can I help
But
you?
it was the early 2000s, so I'll take it.
Tags are expired 3 of 23.
Sir, I'm going to ask you nicely again for the third time. What's your emergency? I notice your emergency lights are on. It's against the law to declare an emergency.
Do I need someone to palm frond fan me? No, I have one of those Dyson bladeless fans that's right here next to me, so that's covered. They should make a Dyson hair spritzer that just constantly mists me. Then I wouldn't need a slave. I mean, unpaid intern. Whatever.
When there is none.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
There is a traffic stop. Do you have a driver's license, insurance, registration?
Can I please ask you why I'm being trafficked at this time?
You get to watch the videos while we spritz you? No, I don't want to treat you like a human being. I kind of just want you to be there like a piece of furniture. The less interaction I have with you on an interpersonal level when you're spritzing me, the better.
Your tags are...
I feel like I'm accidentally describing a dom-sub relationship, and I'm really not meaning to.
expired 3 of 23.
I noticed you.
So you know what? Let's just nix this whole thing. Forget it.
set yourself up. I think that's entrapment, but I'm not sure because I'm not a professional in the law. Can you please tell me what law I've broken?
The tags on your vehicle are expired.
That is not a law, sir. That's a violation. Your officer already gave me a citation for violation, which is a commercial term. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. And your officer already admitted to impeding my traveling. So that's on record, sir.
What's your name, sir?
I don't have any weapons. I'm not a threat, sir. I promise.
What's your name, sir?
Your
I promise. I pinky double dog dare promise.
other friend there has my name.
Okay.
Because 10 minutes ago, I have it on record that this already occurred.
So listen to me, okay?
No, you listen to me,
It's
sir. I
fine.
don't have to
Don't
listen
carry
to you.
percent if you want to give me your name, date of birth.
My name
Yes.
is on record
What's
with
your-
your
Like the
officer.
toast buttering. What game was that? That was virtual reality, which is a pretty fun VR game. It's more like an interactive movie. There are ludic, like, interaction elements, but it's mostly going from scene to scene and watching a story that you only slightly interact with, but it's fun. It's a good couple hours.
In his little notebook. Is he on in presence right now?
He's
Is
not
he?
here right now, no. What's your name, bud?
I'm gonna de-escalate because I
I'm gonna de-escalate, he says from the car.
feel like I'm being trafficked right now. I feel like this is an unlawful
Being trafficked.
violation of my ability to travel
No,
south.
It's a legal stop.
No, it's not, because I am not a
In order, you're
driver.
required to carry a driver's license,
No, I'm not a driver,
proof of
sir.
insurance and registration,
You're a driver. You're on the
And
clock. I'm not a
travel
driver.
or driver, same
No,
thing.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, you can't even look at me in the
You
eyes.
don't want to give me your driver's license?
Sir,
Or ID?
this is the information that I'm gonna give. It's on record.
Boxy's pronouns today are he, him.
I'm obviously recording. You can have this paper.
Thank you.
That's a receipt of my vehicle purchase. That's a lodial title. I have title.
Oh no, not a lodial title. That's the same thing Cataspinda claims she has to her house. That's not a thing in, the United States. There are some countries, I guess, where that is a thing for homes, places where there aren't property taxes. Not a thing in the United States. Can't imagine it's a thing for vehicles either, but I don't know. You still, regardless of whether or not you own the vehicle, there are rules, laws, dictating when you can use them on public roadways, and that includes having a license, registration, insurance. Some states, an inspection sticker that's up to date.
State does not.
Okay. Do you have insurance on your vehicle?
I'm not required because I'm not driving, sir.
Elk Owl says femboy boxy. I didn't say anything about them being feminine. I just said their pronouns were he, him. So I'm gonna say that's a Rorschach test, and you're just into femboys, which is fine. Just interesting that you applied that when no one implied femboy.
Sir, I'm not
Boxy's a Rorschach test for us all.
driving. I am not a driver.
Do you have insurance to travel?
I'm not a driver, and I'm not required to have insurance
So
to
is that a
travel.
no?
I'm not answering these unlawful questions, sir. Can you am I free to go?
No, you're not.
Can you read me my
That's
Miranda
what
rights?
it is. Eminent domain.
What's that?
We have
Can you
eminent
read me
domain.
my
No
Mir-
crime.
So you can't have allodial titles because the government can buy it without your permission.
Is this a traffic stop?
It is a traffic stop, yes.
Can you read me my Miranda rights?
No, I don't need to. Be right back.
Sir,
Here you go.
what's
Here
your
you go.
name and badge number? What's your name and badge number, sir? Mister, I don't have Miranda rights.
He didn't say you don't have Miranda rights. He said he's not going to read them to you because you aren't being arrested and interviewed, which is when you would need your Miranda rights read to you. You're not in that situation, so you don't need them read to you, legally or otherwise.
Were you at my traffic stop prior? Because he said you weren't.
Are you talking to me?
I don't know. Are you the only one there? Were you there
Hydrate.
before, right now?
I showed up later. He's the one that stopped you, though.
So why the unnecessary harassment?
Henthorne, I'm the shift supervisor here.
Why the unnecessary
Is
harassment?
there anything that we talked about earlier that you didn't understand about driving and the tow policy?
I'm not driving, sir. Is there anything you don't understand about
Okay.
what I said about traveling south?
So you know,
Your understanding of what driving is wrong. That is what he should say about it.
you'll be issued citations.
Can
You're
you
not free to
prove?
go.
Can you prove? Can you also read me my Miranda rights since I'm not free to go? Do you even know them? Hey, I've got like 5 officers here behind me. They're waiting for sheriff. I think they're taking me to jail. I love you. Bye.
Oh. Caradona says, Miranda or not, you should shut the fuck up around cops. I agree. He's just not capable of doing so. Mr. Duck Sauce with a 3-stream streak says, oh, Sovsids, the coyotes of Roadrunner chases.
They're creating feral humans. This is how they do it.
Okay.
Expired tags, I get pulled over, I don't comply, and they tow my car. There's the Mass Brothers towing right there. They're going to seize my property because I will not comply, and they're going to take me to jail. And then I'll be released, catch and release.
Hey, David.
Can I get a sheriff's deputy down here? I fear for my safety.
Again, with the obsession with the sheriff's office, this comes from the Posse Comitatus movement. They believe that sheriffs have the ultimate authority over the police and even the feds. Not true. Panakagami says, unfortunately, thanks to SCOTUS, cops no longer have to read you your Miranda rights. Failure to do so no longer serves as a justification to drop charges, so they're functionally meaningless now. I thought that it was that the cops weren't liable. I didn't think it was necessarily that the stuff couldn't be used. I could be wrong. I thought it was more so that it had to do with qualified immunity in regard to the police. But again, it's been a while since that case happened, so I'm not sure.
Why do you fear for your safety?
Because you guys are putting on your gloves, and the only way you're getting out of here is to take me out of here, and I don't feel safe.
All right, so here's the deal, okay?
No, there's no deal. There's no deal. And at the end of the day,
I'm telling you what's going to happen.
no,
okay?
at the end of the day, you guys are committing crimes.
Okay. So my sergeant told you what was going to happen if you drove.
Your
He said
sergeant
you
is not my
committed-
daddy.
Okay, so
Your
vehicle-
sergeant is not my
Listen
daddy.
to me.
Where's that paper that I gave you?
Your-
No. Though there are rules in society, and those laws are applied to people through authority. The police are that. You don't have to necessarily like that, but you do need to understand it and live in society.
Vehicle's getting impounded since you don't have a valid license and there's
I
no
thought I had daddy issues.
insurance on it. Okay, so I'm giving you a lawful order to step out of the vehicle.
It's not a lawful order. I don't comply. I don't consent. It's not a lawful order. That's why I'm requesting a sheriff's deputy, sir.
All right, well,
I'm
David's not gonna help you right now.
I'm requesting a sheriff's deputy. If not, I'm going to ask you to call 911 because I fear for my
You call them
safety.
once you go.
He's asking the police to call 911 on themselves. Alright.
Is that a loaded weapon on your hip?
He's a cop. Yes, his gun is loaded.
I'm giving you a lawful order. to
Is
step out of the
this a
vehicle.
loaded weapon on your hip, sir? Because otherwise, this is duress. This is fear, intimidation. I am scared right now.
I find it so interesting that sovereign citizens consistently will bring up the fact that they feel coerced. Because the reality is that law, by its very nature, is coercive. They're not wrong in that sense. We all just accept that a certain level of that because we recognize that laws are a thing. We don't always agree in how that is applied. Like people here, for instance, most of us understand that there are problems with policing institutionally and want it to change. But I think we also mostly recognize that there does need to be some sort of law at play. There needs to be law because sometimes people don't want to do things that are good for society, and those things harm other people. I find it interesting that sovereign citizens think that they've come across some, like, amazing new thought with the whole under threat and duress thing. Yeah, it's the law. It's coercive by its very nature. Imagine Hammurabi being like, here's my code, and someone being like, you're coercing me into not stealing? Yeah, that's the point.
Because you could break this window and you could shoot me.
Orion says, is that a loaded weapon in your pants, or are you just here to infringe on my sovereign rights under your maritime laws?
If you wanted to, right? Because that's a lawful order that I'm allegedly not complying with. So how far are you going to take this, sir? Because this is duress. This
Thanks, Italian Shakespeare. Yeah, I like that guy. He's good. Anton Shea Films, I want to say his name is.
is fear and intimidation.
So
This
my
is
sergeant
human
told you if you
trafficking.
drove, it was gonna get impounded, right?
I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Driving is a
Traveling,
commercial term.
driving, the same thing.
No, I used to be an ambulance driver, sir. I worked for Bay City's ambulance. I was a driver. I had to have a license to drive.
So I'm giving you a lawful order. to
No,
step
it's
out
an
of the vehicle.
unlawful
Your
order,
vehicle's getting
sir.
impounded.
It's an unlawful order. I don't comply to unlawful orders. I'm asking for a sheriff's deputy, sir. I used to be a driver. I used to use the road as a means to produce an income. I'm not a driver. I'm a traveler, which means that what you're doing is unlawful. Are we being recorded? You didn't even tell me if we were being recorded.
You weren't listening, but I did.
So also, you didn't tell me if that was a loaded weapon on your hip.
On my hip?
Is that a loaded weapon on your hip, sir?
He's a cop. What do you mean? Does he think cops go around with unloaded guns? What in the world? Keep Lord says, "Hey Hannah, might be getting on a submarine for 2 months this afternoon. What should I do under the sea? If I go and miss your stream, just remember you have snack moths in your flash pocket." Oh boy. Well, what do you mean might? I don't know. What is there to do under the sea? Probably just be cramped and have claustrophobia and masturbate for 2 months. I don't know. I'm not in the Navy. That sucks. 2 months, huh? Wow. That sounds scary.
Sir,
Yes, it is.
then I claim fear, threat, and duress, sir,
Okay.
which makes it unlawful. Everything that's happening right now is unlawful.
Okay. So step on out for me.
I'm not going to do that, sir. That's why I'm requesting a sheriff's deputy. I fear for my safety. Can I please have your name and badge number for the record?
But
Can I please have your name and badge number for the record?
my name will be on the citation. It's Jay Moeller, and badge number is 123. That'll all be on the citation.
Your badge number is seriously 123? Are you lying to me right now, sir? Sir, are you lying to me right now?
Am I lying to you? No.
Your badge number is 123?
Correct.
Can I please have a sheriff's deputy on site?
You can call him if you want.
Can I please request a sheriff's deputy on
So
site?
listen, okay? I'm going to give you a warning for expired tags, but citation for driving while suspended violation.
I wasn't driving, sir. I've already explained I used to be an ambulance driver, sir.
You don't have to appear, but if you wish not to appear, make sure you take care of it before that court date.
Sir,
Okay?
all
It's so
you're
funny when they just talk over
doing
them.
is mumbling stuff you've memorized. This is an unlawful
Do you want me
traffic
to
stop.
explain it to you again?
I don't
If you believe that, argue it in court. This is the side of the road. A, you're wrong. B, even if you were right, this isn't the place to argue it.
understand.
So you are be given a warning for expired tags.
Okay.
You are being a citation for driving while suspended.
I'm not
violation,
driving
and
though,
driving
sir.
uninsured.
I'm not
There's no
driving.
insurance on it.
Can you prove that I'm driving? I don't have passengers and I'm not
No.
traveling. I'm not.
Court date is 6/5/24.
Sir, can you prove-
Violation. You don't have to appear, but if you wish not to appear, make sure you take care of it before that court date. Okay?
I don't understand,
So your
sir.
vehicle is getting impounded, so step on out, please.
I don't understand, sir.
All right, step on out.
I don't understand, sir.
Step on out.
I don't understand, sir.
What don't you understand?
I don't understand.
Paladin Lost, thanks for 21 months, says it's always funny that Sovsids believe that sheriffs will have their back when they're with their moron theories. Yeah, it's just part of the narrative that they get fed, so they believe it. They believe that what they're being told and what they want to believe must be true. It's got to be coming from somewhere.
Understand why you're
I
giving.
think it's hopefulness on their part. Sean Corbell with 100 bits kicks off a hype train and says if he was an ambulance driver, then he probably had a commercial driver's license. We should know there are commercial and non-commercial licenses. What does he think the non-commercial license ones are for if you only need them for commercial purposes? I don't know. I've never heard a sovereign citizen explain that. If I ever got to talk to one, it would be one of the questions I asked, for sure.
Giving me unlawful orders. I'm not a driver. I don't have passengers. I'm not transporting goods for services.
Traveling or driver, the same thing.
It's Google it, sir. Take the time to.
Take it to
Google it!
court then.
No, because
You
the
want-
judges
do
are
what the
on
judge says.
the judge is on your side. It's called
Judge
human
says you need to-
trafficking. It's called human
You can get out of the
trafficking.
car or not.
I don't comply. I don't consent. I don't consent. It's not a refusal, sir. It's a don't consent.
Okay.
43% to level 1 on the hype
I
train.
have to consent.
Here's this for you. Don't drive. I'm gonna impound your car.
Sir, you can't impound my car with me in it.
No, they would arrest you. They will arrest you and take you to jail. Google debunkers.
Fear, intimidation, you guys. We are being coerced. I promise. I do this for you.
Jesus Christ. He's an interesting fella. He does all sorts of sovereign citizen videos, too.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for pressing play. I'm a man called Dave, and I'm here at the juice bar to do a little Zoom presentation. I've got my water. I'm almost done with it. So this is going to be quick because I don't want to talk too much. I don't have a lot of water. I'm going to make this very fast. Also, full
16-minute video.
disclosure, I totally made another video and I forgot to press record. So now I'm starting over. I didn't make the video. I thought I pressed it, but I didn't. And that's what happened. So here I am. So I'm going to do my favor. I'm going to try to do as good as I did the first time, even though it was amazing. And my point is to go over the documents that I sent to the court after my traffic violation on Saturday. I made a big stink in Coos Bay, and also I'm not sorry about it at all. I'm going to keep, fighting against unlawful orders and these police officers. They're policy officers. They're enforcing policies. Oregon revised statute is not law. The law says do no harm to others. It says that if there's no valid
Does he think that the Hippocratic Oath is the law?
claim of trespass or property
Nemesaur, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the community.
damage or violation of another man or woman's rights, or somehow I damage them or harm them, then there's no crime. And if there's no crime, then why am I being harassed? Why am I being extorted? Why am I being forced to go to court and being brought up on these
8% to level 4 on the hype
charges as the bank term, so it's debt. I'm being forced.
So he thinks that because charges is a word that sounds like charges as in bank charges, they're related? Oh.
Forced to...
Again, with that semantic obsession and misunderstandings of, homonyms.
Have a debt, and that is illegal under contract law. If there's no contract, then how can there be a debt? You can't say, I owe you for the work that you did on my property when you've never been to my property and you've never...
The charges are a completely different kind of charge. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub, 30% to level 4.
Any work. And if you can't prove that I hired you under some kind of contract, then you can't prove that I owe you any type of debt. And that's basically how it works. At least that's how it should work.
Wow, lots of gift subs today. Dillis Filler, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much.
But the collection agents and the court agents and all these agents of all these corporations are basically engaged in extortion and coercion and human trafficking.
30% to level 5.
And that includes the city of Coos Bay, the county.
Well, that sounds great, Carpcosian. Where's mine? Give me, Alfredo. Need.
Of Coos and the Coos County Circuit Court. And this is not an official claim that I'm...
You didn't miss Chile. We're going to do him next. Unstable Deadbeat, thanks for gifting a sub, 46% to level 5.
This is not meant for legal advice. This is just my life and the story that I'm telling you about my life. I'm a man called Dave, and I'm...
Hi, Dave. Unstable Deadbeat, thanks for gifting a sub. Overthought says, so if I tell him I have a pair of shoes, he pictures ripe fruit on my feet? Maybe. Very Amelia Bedelia.
I'm sojourning on the land in search of peace and prosperity, and honestly, it's hard to find. So my goal is to end human trafficking, and
I don't think you're going to do so, especially when by human trafficking you mean basic traffic stops.
My friends are worried about my safety.
Your friends are probably worried about your mental state. They're probably worried about your safety in the sense that you are endangering yourself by acting incredibly irrationally and around cops. And cops are, finicky, jumpy, have a tendency to escalate things when they feel threatened, and people feel threatened by things they don't understand, for better or worse. Mostly for the worse.
They've suggested that I don't make this video. They've suggested that I don't do these things out in public, but I'm going to change my identity for the purposes of this video to remain safe. I'm not going to change my voice, but I am going to turn my hat around, and now I'm just Dave. So if anybody asks, Dave. And the most common name probably in America is Mohammed, second name, Dave. And also I'm going to share my screen So we're going to go over some of these documents that I sent to the Coos County Courthouse. And the first thing is this affidavit of personal status. As you can see in the screen right there is affidavit of personal status. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. I'm the implied surety for the alleged debt, man called Dave. And also my full family given name is David Anthony of the Zaragoza family. I am the living beneficiary.
Marcel of the family Bassett.
And this is just me, my attempt to establish my jurisdiction. And I want everyone to know who I am. They want to claim I'm a defendant. They want to claim that
You are a defendant. Benegagami says, I just fact-checked and I was right about Miranda. It was ruled not a constitutional right, but rather a safeguard to remind you of your Fifth Amendment rights. There's basically no punishment for failure to inform you of your rights. And reminder, SCOTUS has made rulings that make it harder to sue law enforcement for violating your rights. In other words, progressively, we're losing rights in regard to cops. Oh, lovely. Please vote in November. We need fewer of these people on the Supreme Court, not more. And if Trump wins, there'll be more.
I'm a respondent, or they want to claim that I'm a driver, and I'm certainly not going to allow them to make any fictitious or fraudulent
Minute
claims.
left on the hype train, 51% to level 5.
So my declaration of self-determination, which is a right that we have under God, I, a man, am not the property of another man, woman, or corporation, nor will I ever be by way of implied consent or tacit agreement. You can take that to the...
Toreador says, look at you thinking there'll be other branches of government left if Trump wins. I would imagine, even if there was a totalitarian takeover, there would be. It would just be full of people all on the same team that are effectively making it look like they're opposing branches of government, when in reality they're all colluding in order to do things they want to do.
The bank.
It's easier to do that than it is to completely transform the entire system. It's easier to just take hold of it.
And that's what I'm doing. Is
Much scarier version of regulatory capture, basically. Judiciary capture, legislative capture, executive capture.
I'm learning all of the tricks of their trade and how they
hype.
obtain implied consent. So I used to work ambulance service. If I come upon an unconscious, unresponsive man or woman, I have the legal right to strip them of their clothing and inject them with pharmaceutical drugs. I can
What?
do all of these things under a license, under a doctor's license. I can perform acts upon a man or woman who would otherwise be illegal. And it's all under implied consent. But because...
What a very strange person. Alright. It's probably time to get to Chile. So this is video since he got out. I'm not going to cover the court thing because it was actually pretty boring.
To me.
Chile behaved, which is probably one of the reasons he got out. Let's see how he's been since. This is, of course, going to start with an ad for his cards, as it always does.
You can see that my hand is here. The other hand goes hand. I'm bill, and that license. I got everything. License, registration, and proof of that this phone's in. I'm going to reach over and grab my license, registration, and proof of insurance that is in my trifold right here. It's inside my trifold. Here's my license, registration, and proof of insurance right there. I got everything right there. See how that works? I'm just going to slide that bad chicken out. There's everything I have to provide by law right there. License, registration, proof of insurance. I have everything right next to my trifold. Now, no matter what he says from there, I don't care what he says. How fast were you? I'm for you. Here's the insurance.
Need to get to his new content. I've seen this ad.
Ticket. You jack. Blue is forward, but this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Ladies
That's a lot of words for don't talk to the cops. Yeah, but you can't sell that. Chile can sell this, though.
Gentlemen.
How is he going to get money out of people if he just tells people things?
I present to you the new, redesigned Fifth Amendment cop card. Now, the driver card is in blue, and the non-driver card is in yellow. Now, they're easily color-coded, so you know driving is blue, non-driving is yellow. You have to have a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards in your wallet at all times. If you carry your credit cards in your phone, it's the exact same size as your Visa, as your driver's license. And these cards, they're made out of the exact same material as a hotel key, your Visa card, your driver's license. They don't destroy. It won't melt in your wallet. You need to have a Fifth Amendment driver and non-driver.
Now I just want his Fifth Amendment card, but made in chocolate, so it will melt in my pocket. Why would I assume something would melt in my pocket?
Cop card in your wallet. These are the best gift you'll ever give anybody. Thanks. My name is Chile DeCastro, and I am Delete Laws. So there it is right there. What is going on out there in the land of YouTube? How is everybody? Let me see if I can. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. As a lot of you know, I just got out of jail. I spent 4 months in the dungeon, and it was so horrifically bad. It was so horrifically difficult that it has to be changed. And so tonight, you know, Lenny, thanks for coming. Soy Leal, Patriot JC, there's so many of you guys, and I got Brick and BZ Watchdog and Michael Eline, and I got everybody here. I just, you know, I think first and foremost, you know, I want to say thank you to all of you people who helped me so much. You know, it's you guys made it through your crowdfunding efforts, so that
Your crowdfunding efforts.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But
so frustrating the way he rhetorically does that. Your crowdfunding efforts, as if it was people in his community that started it and not him asking for money. Currently, he's asking for $100,000 now. This is separate from the $20,000 and $50,000 he had asked for separately. This is a new $100,000 he's asking for, so he can try and sue the prosecutor, the judge, and the cop.
You guys made it through your crowdfunding efforts that I wasn't completely bankrupted. It was close. It was close. We just really, you know, without you guys coming through with the big numbers that you guys did, getting locked up for 4 months would have ruined me. It would have ruined me. It would have closed.
Just don't even think that's true. Chilie doesn't have a stable, regular job. He lives out of his vehicle and, like, drives around the country and does YouTube. He didn't have a normal job to go to. So what are you talking about? You weren't going to get fired. You weren't going to get behind on your rent payments or electric bill. You literally just would have had to park your car somewhere at your family's house, who you said they're in Las Vegas anyway. You gave them your dog. Out of all the people whose lives could be ruined by jail, and believe me, I know plenty of people's lives, most would be ruined by being taken away for 4 months. You're not.
My office, it would have.
He has always been in need of 100,000, 1984 style. Me too.
I would have lost my.
We're going to do the Patreon-only live show this weekend, by the way, chat. So if you'd like to join the Patreon and be there for this weekend's Patreon-only live show on Sunday, you can do so. You'll also gain access to all of the previous VODs of the live streams.
Car, I would have lost my living situation. I would have lost.
His living situation is in his car. Again, he goes all around the country in his car. He's making it sound like he rents someplace. He doesn't.
Lost everything if it wasn't for you guys and your crowdfunding. And so I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who pulled $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, whatever you did, $1. And if you guys shared the fundraiser or you donated to the fundraiser, I just want to say thank you, because we did lose a few people. We lost a few people who used to work for Team DLZ, and we're going to try to bring them back. But this nightmare that I was living in is now that part of it is now over.
The nightmare where he was sitting in there reading Ayn Rand and designing board games. Peoplord says, Chile, I assume you hit enter too soon there.
Them locking me up
You can finish that up and I'll read the whole thing. You don't need to give me more bits. I know you did that accidentally.
Unjustly, them locking me up because a biased, unprincipled judge. That is now over. And now we get to go at them through the same legal system that wrongfully incarcerated me. But, Stomper, I see you in there. Katie, I see.
There we go. Peoplord says, Chile, but I'm gonna be homeless. He already chooses to live in his car.
You in there. Danelle Brown.
Jail was actually a more stable living situation than he's had in years for him.
Danelle Brown consistently donated to me when I was in jail.
Peoplord says, Jesus fucking Christ, trying this joke again.
And I just want to say thank you. There's Ed, Maddie, David.
Did you hit enter again?
Brick. Thank you. this is harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I really thought I would be put together a lot better than I am right now. We spent enough tears in the jail. There's Chuck coming through. But it's like, just
sorry, Peoplord.
Just to be 100 with you, right? Without you guys, I would have been ruined. Yeah. With that, so just so you know, I'm going to go into the nuts and bolts of the dungeon and what that was like. But, without Danelle and Cope Dog and without Alan Hub and people consistently putting money on my books so that I could get, and as you can see, I had plenty of really bad food.
Looks the same.
Without
in 4 months, Chile.
You guys doing what you did for me. Derek is here. Good to see you, buddy. I would have gone under. It's 100%. Just so you guys know, the legal bills alone are just over $77,000 right today, right now.
Wow, that seems like it really wasn't worth it. You spent $77,000 to get out of jail like 2 weeks early? That's an awful use of your money. $77,000 for like 2 weeks of your life. Imagine that. Not worth it. I'll go to jail right now for 4 months for $77,000. What are you doing?
That you guys and me collectively with my savings, and you guys put in like $60,000 of money to pay for legal bills for me. And if that hasn't, if you haven't experienced something like that yourself, it's really hard to put in words.
Hella Lagotzi, thanks for 18 months, says an awful use of his viewers' money, right? This sub-baby's name is gonna be Crackle and Pop.
How grateful I am as a person for what you guys did for me. There's just no other way to put it than thank you for what you guys did for me. And, Drophead 74 and, man, so many of you guys sent me books. I memorized like 3 or 4 books from top. I'm
sorry, did he say he memorized books?
Plan on this. Sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't plan on having this level of emotion.
Fuck off.
I didn't play.
I hate this shit. He's such a bad actor.
And on this, I thought Mikey B is here. Mikey, what's going on? So I don't know how to ever thank you guys, but I think I do know how to repay you. And we're going to get into that a little bit here in a second, but American, good to see you. Eric, how are you, buddy? It's just, I cried enough in court and I cried enough in jail. And believe me, there were nights I cried in jail for sure. there were nights I cried. I sat there and I cried in jail. I planned on celebrating with you guys right now tonight. I had planned on just having a party with you guys and being like, yeah, we got the conviction overturned and we beat them. And now we get to go after that judge and that prosecutor. Let's go, OTVO. Now we get to go after the prosecutor and the judge, and we get to go after them.
Why are right-wing grifters often failed actors? Because they failed being a small fish in a big pond, so they go to a smaller pond to be a relatively bigger fish. The standards are lower in the smaller community and less creative community of right-wing grifting. Penikagami says, I personally love how Chilie, a nobody sobsit with no legal grounds, got his appeal processed in his favor early enough to mitigate a 6-month jail sentence, but cases involving protecting our democracy get litigated over the course of literal years and have gone nowhere.
And I planned on this just being a victory party, but before the victory party can begin, there would be no victory party if it wasn't for you. If you hadn't thrown in that $5, $10, I wouldn't have a place here in Los Angeles. I wouldn't have a place.
Wait, he's in LA now?
To shoot from in Vegas.
What in the world?
I wouldn't have a place at all. I wouldn't have a car.
Since when does he have a place in LA?
Dog, I wouldn't have been able to keep him.
Did he take... Nope, I'm not going to say that out loud.
Because I wouldn't have had a house to keep him in. And I told you guys that I am the tip of the spear and I will not stop fighting. But I want you guys to really understand. You guys kept me alive.
How come I never point at you? Because pointing is rude. But if you'd like, there you go. Look at me. Pointing at you.
You guys made it so that I didn't lose everything. It's real. That's real. You know, and it's not over. It's not over. You guys kept me alive. Without you, I would have lost absolutely everything. Without the editors who worked so hard, you know, Frankenstein and videos, without Brian from Here's the Deal, without Michael Eline, without Texas Gal and Brick and BZ Watchdog, without Danelle's and without Cope Dogs and without Rights On and without Clarkson Thompson. You guys don't know who Clarkson is, but you will one day. Without Clarkson and without my buddy Jay, I honestly would not have made it here today. Without my family. So, all right. I just want to, from the bottom of my heart.
Okay, I'm going to get past him thanking people and get to the actual content, because holy shit. Just a masturbatory exercise.
Just, if you don't understand, you don't understand. But if you do understand, then it's been just, let's bring on one person. Let me just bring on just one person. Just, let me see what I can do here. There we go. So do I got you, nope. I'm just trying to get BZ Watchdog here. Just BZ.
Real good.
There we go. I got you, BZ Watchdog.
Good with the cyber like Mike Lindell.
What's up, Chilie?
Hey, buddy. I just wanted to say thank you to you. BZ Watchdog is a guy who jumped on my channel a few times and really did me a service. How you doing, man? Thank you. I appreciate everything you did for me.
Appreciate that. Question is, how are you doing, man? I was getting teary-eyed just listening to you back here.
I'm okay. I just didn't plan on having this amount of emotional. I didn't plan on this. I planned on being able to do this without having any kind of.
It's like he's emphasizing the point. Like, do you see how emotional I am? I didn't plan on getting this emotional, everyone. I really didn't plan on it. You're not really that emotional. Your eyes are a little teary in a way that looks like you're trying to make yourself cry and not doing a very good job. It feels like you're trying to emphasize it vocally in order to compensate for the lack of actual acting acumen on your face.
Emotional reaction at all, but unfortunately it's been, it's a lot to, it is a lot to take in.
Gotta let it out, man. Gotta let it out.
why don't you drop your link down in the chat real quick here and see if I can someone drop his link in the chat for BZ Watchdog.
Actually,
You guys,
to be honest with you, all your moderators have moderators on my channel. They've stuck by my side and helped me out why we
did and how they did it. So
he's going to get into the jail experience. I don't want to hear this part.
At the CCDC in the dungeon right here. So this is the actual video here that I'm going to show. So this was the jail layout. You see this here? Let me see what you guys can see.
The rag he wiped with probably has onion juice on it. That would be hilarious.
See here.
I don't necessarily think that's actually true, but it would be funny.
Okay. So this is what the jail layout looks like. If you guys are unfamiliar with what
looks like a Flash game from 2003.
Jail is like, you're looking at it right now. That's it right there. This is what the dorm looked like that I was in. So if you take a look at this is the whole layout. So you have over here, you have the
tables.
Can you guys see my mouse on the screen? Let me know if you can see my mouse on the screen. I'm going to show you this. So this is what it looked like. This is the jail. You see these white right here on the right-hand side? Those are the windows. This green area on the right-hand side has a black line at the top and a black line in the middle. This was the rec yard. And then these are the tables. So they put these tables right here, cafeteria tables right here. And so this is where you would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then these little yellow boxes, these are the 7 payphones that they had here where you could call out, collect. And so if you take a look right here, this is called the Sally Port. See where it says jail guard? If you go just north of that, there's a little red line there and a little red line there. This is called a Sally Port. And this is...
Yeah, it's like a little vestibule where one door opens, you can get in there, lock that door so it's closed off, and then if you're prepared, you can go to the other door. That way it's kind of an airlock, not an airlock, but works with the same thing, but instead of keeping out air, you're keeping out prisoners, in theory.
Where they had these magnetic locking doors right here, and then they had more magnetic locking doors right here. So then right here where this little door is, was the barber shop. And this is what the bed layouts were. So the light blue squares that you're
My favorite part of gulags are the payphones in the barber shop.
At, that was the metal bed that they stuck a little cotton thing on. And then the dark blue is a bookshelf that goes up about 3.5, almost 4 feet. And then your bed right here is at 2 feet, 2.5 feet. So this is how close you are to each person behind you. So you have the bookshelf separates you from the person behind you. And then right here, there's a little tiny desk where you can put your book and whatnot. So you guys can see that right there. Now, here's how it worked. At 3 a.m., you see the 3 a.m. come up there on the lower left-hand side where see it says 3 a.m. right there. At 3 a.m., they would wake you up and they would do a face check. So this is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, and this is row 4. These over here are bunk beds. You see these 2 little blue squares on the far right by the windows. So these are bunk beds. Where underneath of these bunk beds are drawers for your books and your stuff like that. And so at 3 a.m., where it says 3 a.m. right down here, this is where they would wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they would do a face count. And then from 3 to 3:30, they would serve chow. They call it chow right here at these tables. So these tables right here, just so you know, this little boxed in area right here, this is called the day room. I don't know why it's called the day room, but that's just what it's called. It's called the day room.
Probably because it's where people spend most of their day. Also, day room. Fighter of the night room.
Don't know why, but that's the name of what they call it. So now this is the day room where you eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And from 3:30 a.m. until so from 3 to 3:30, you eat your breakfast. And then from 3:30 a.m. till 7 a.m., you're locked back down again on your bed. That's how it works. You're locked back down again on your bed. And so this is called the day room. Now, here's where it kind of starts to change on you a little bit. Let me see what we got here. Okay. So from 7 to 9 a.m., you're going to get free time. It's called free time in the jail. So from 7 to 9 a.m., that means they're going to
I don't even know what his point is right now. I agree, Dillis Filler. What's his point? Yes, you could look this up, this jail looks like on the inside.
pink door right
What about it?
here above the 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. They're going to open this door for either at 7 a.m. or at 8 a.m. You'll get 30 minutes to 1 hour in this rec yard over here, which there's a solid piece of steel on the roof. And
can I play this 30-second clip of classic Chile? Sure. See what it is.
You don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. That's the reason I'm here, and I don't like you frickin' pigs. Don't tell me what to do. It's that simple. If you mind your business, I'll be nice to you. If you talk shit, I'll destroy you with my knowledge. I will destroy you.
My knowledge is
Yeah. Really? I love it, kid. Maybe your bike crew will get a few hits now, a few likes.
They do. No, trust me, they do.
Are you guys a big crew? Yeah. Listen, you guys don't understand. I don't have any beef with you. I just film cops. That's all I do. You guys may have a good time right now. These guys are actually being pretty cool to you. But if the situation was reversed, you'd be screaming, please turn on your camera.
No, it's such a dumbass.
I understand, bro. I understand.
That is so funny.
And then right here with these white
Don't ever fuck with teenagers. They're devastating. They'll just say the meanest true thing ever right to your face.
bars are on the side, this is where there's a window to the outside world. But you can't look out the window. You're not allowed to look out the window. If you look out the window, they'll yell at you to stop looking out the window, or they'll lock you down to your bed for 24 or 48 hours. So from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., you can come and sit right here in this day room. You're allowed to sit here. If you stand up in this area right here, the guard will warn you to sit down, maybe. But if you don't sit down, then you get locked down to your bed for 24 hours right there. You can go over here to the payphones where these yellow boxes are, and these are supposed.
I get the feeling that Chile had a really, really hard time following basic rules in jail by the number of things he's saying. And if you do this stupid thing, you'll get locked down to your bed for 24 hours. Then don't do that thing, Chile. I imagine they told you the fucking rules and warned you. So stop it.
Supposed to be payphones, whatever. So you can go jump on the payphone here, but if there's two of you there, and you guys are using each other's PIN number to call a friend, which I could never share my PIN because they were listening to all my phone calls, then you get locked to your bed for 24 hours right there.
Stop! Don't do that then!
If you get caught with two guys at this. This was the library, just so you know, this was my bed right here. This was my bed. At one point, when it was not...
Oh, right next to the little bookshelf, too. That's nice. Where he must have gotten his Ayn Rand.
Free time. See where it says free time from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.? Well, then after that, free time ends at 9 a.m. From 9 to 9:30, you have chow again. That's your lunchtime. Lunch is from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And then after that, from 9:30...
Trey says, teenagers have an interesting feature that lets them use their charisma modifier to cut you to your very soul.
To 11 a.m., you are locked back down to your bed again. Now, what happened to me is my bed was right here. I got up out of my bed to get a book out of the tiny little library bookshelf right here, a dictionary, and that meant I got locked down for 24 hours.
I assume you were supposed to already be staying in bed. Again, yeah, there are rules. You're in jail. Ask permission at minimum.
My bed. That's what happened. That's how it went. I got locked down to my bed for 24 hours for getting a book out of the library, which was a dictionary, because you people had sent me books. All the people in this crowd sent me books, all kinds of books. I don't know who they came from. So if you sent me a book or anything, you have to let me know who you are so I can thank you.
I'm sorry, he needed a dictionary to read the books?
Because they don't let me know. They just give me the book and that's it. So from 9:30 or 11, you're locked back down again. Now, during my lockdown, when I was locked down in my bed for 24 hours, I stood up. This guy over here was going to give me some food. So I stood up to meet him right here. And when I stood up to meet him right here to give me some food, I got locked down again for another 24 hours.
Hey, this is just a list of things he wasn't supposed to do. Clearly he had been told, stop getting up from bed during the time you're not supposed to. And he just keeps doing it.
My bed for standing up when I was in a lockdown. So
Then stop it! You were locked down!
let
What are you doing?
me
He's just like, don't get me wrong, there are problems with jailing, there are problems with the prison system. The things he's describing aren't the problems. The things he's describing is him continually breaking the rules because he doesn't take them seriously and being mad that the rules exist. Fennikagami says, I'm gonna say it, Chili, this is all of us. See what it is.
There's no way that a mouse could kill a scorpion. Dude, a mouse could scorpion. Well, no shit. Scorpion. Shut up! Oh my god, I don't care!
Black's Law Dictionary request. Ashley, what do you want me to look up in Black's Law Dictionary? Filibuster?
Let me be completely clear on this. So my blood pressure was 200 over 110, 195 over 105, 190 over 100, 185 over 115. My blood pressure was completely out of control. I explained to the guards that I need to move my body for 30 minutes to an hour every day to keep my blood pressure down.
Sounds like you get recreational time, Chili. Second. This one says filibuster.
They told me, I don't care. If you get out of your bunk when you're in a lockdown, if you stand up from your bed, I'm going to put you in the hole. And I'm not sure if you guys heard my definition of what the hole was like, but it was absolutely horrendously bad. So then you're locked down to your bed again from 9:30 till 11 a.m. Now, let me show you something here. So I'm just going to go back just a little bit here. So, okay. So from 9 to 9:30, you have breakfast. Okay. From 3:30 a.m.
Filibuster, tactics designed to obstruct and delay legislative action by prolonged and often irrelevant speeches on the floor of the House or Senate. See also cloture, a means of cutting off filibustering. Peeplord says, if you give contraband to another inmate, you get locked to your bed, and this window, if you look out of it with a missile launcher, they lock you in your bed. In this corner right here, they lock you to your bed for 24 hours if you stand in it and be a complete asshole. Overthought says, the rules didn't apply to him. He wasn't a prisoner. He was kidnapped. Prisoners can be used in commerce.
Till 7 a.m., you are locked down. Now, from 3:30 to 7, you're not going to, right in this little area right here, this is the Sally port. So these are magnetic doors, and these are magnetic doors. And then this is the hallway that connects your dorm to all the other dorms. So right in here, what they'll do is they'll open this magnetic door, and then they'll close it, and they'll bring a medical cart in. And they'll put the medical cart right here, and they'll open this. They'll have the jail guard come and stand right here by the nurse, and then the nurse will administer medication to everybody in the dorm. Now, you get free time in certain times of the day. From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., as you can see there, you get free time. So what does free time mean? That means during the 1 hour, one of these 2 hours, or 30 minutes of these 2 hours, the guard will open this door, pat you down, let you go in here. Here's a pull-up bar and a dip bar, and this is a really shitty basketball rim right here, and you can go in here for 30 minutes to an hour. However, when the med pass comes in here, it's called med.
That would have been a good time to get that walk around that you said you needed, Chili.
Pass for medical pass. They'll open this door and close it. They'll bring a nurse in here. Then during your free time, the 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., they'll lock you down to your bed. So you might be having free time at 7:30 a.m. Then the med pass person comes in there from 7:30. Well, then it takes 45 minutes or an hour. So then you're locked back down to your bed during your so-called free time that you get from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And so then a big line forms right here in front of the payphones. So if you ever talk to me on the phone, you heard me say, I got to hang up right now or they're going to put me in the hole, because they will call you up by rows.
Oh my God, you had to take turns to use the phone? I can't believe it. Toreador says, looking at his drawing and realizing some things about my dwarf fortress layout style. I don't think he drew this, for the record. I think he found this online.
You get in line for med pass. Row 2 right here, you get in line for med pass. Row 3 right here, you get in line for med pass.
At this point, I'm not even sure what he's upset about. Is it that the day is very structured? Because so far he's just describing the fact that it's very structured and regimented, which I'm sure isn't fun. But again, it's jail. Logistically, it kind of needs to operate like this. You can't just have all these random people doing whatever. I don't think that would work very well.
row 4 right here, you get in line for med pass. And so everybody has to stand in line here. Now, if you guys don't know, I was in a minimum security. So what that means is that most of the people inside of my dorm were homeless, were crazies, or recovering drug addicts. So the dorm,
which one were you, Chilie?
Holds 75 people. There was a turnover of about 10 to 15 people every single day. So that meant when I would see, holy shit. Thanks. Let's go OTVO. Yeah, we were, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go OTVO. So, but I want you guys to understand exactly what the process was of this dungeon system. And this is what they do. Wanda, missed you, man. Missed you guys. So now let me zoom.
Yeah, very ableist, the way he has no respect for people with mental illness as human beings. He always dehumanizes them and calls them crazy. He always, not good.
Back in here. So you get free time from 7 to 9 unless the medical pass comes right here. And then they have to lock everybody back down to their beds because, as you know, when you're in jail, you're just going to go rushing the door over here to try to steal the meds off the med cart. Or maybe that's not at all true whatsoever, even kind of, sort of, because if you did anything like that, they would send in, 40 guys and they would literally beat you senseless.
You literally just said that there are people in the unit with you that are mentally ill, so those people aren't necessarily going to be behaving rationally. So you need to keep into account during your procedures in this place, not just what a rational person would do, but what people who are maybe behaving impulsively would do. Because I don't know if you know this, a lot of people with mental illness have impulse problems. A lot of people in jail have impulse problems to some extent. For some people, that's why they're in jail. So, weird commentary from him on that point.
Now, I didn't see the guards beat anybody. There is some stuff I'm going to talk about that the guards did do. There was a guy...
You can tell he so badly wishes he had seen some, guards beaten on someone. That way he could make it a whole thing. The fact that it's mostly just boring and regimented is the worst he can say about it. Which is so funny, because there are actual systemic problems. He could be talking about the fact that, wow, there were so many mentally ill people in here who were not being treated by the system. He could talk about that, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't have any respect for the mentally ill. He doesn't consider them human beings, it doesn't seem like. So it's a non-issue for him. The biggest issue with there being mentally ill people in there to him was that he had to put up with them. Notice that. Frustrating. Social Warlock says, yes, Chilie, people struggling with withdrawal would absolutely do that.
This is a whole different thing I'm going to talk about another time, so I'm not going to get into it right now. But I can tell you this, it was brutal. It was brutal what I saw. And I'm not going to go too far into detail right now because it's a different thing.
Man, it's almost like you don't actually have anything of substance to complain about, so you just want to vaguely gesture in its direction.
But I want to talk about this. So now from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., you'll get your so-called free time unless the med cart is right here. And if the med cart's right here, then everybody has
to... would not last in an American mental hospital? No. They'd try to give him the non-slip socks, and he'd be like, you're going to try and tell me what socks I can wear?
To their bunk.
They're comfy socks.
If there's people out here, they got to be pulled inside through this little pink door, and they have to go lock down to their bed, and they have to sit on their bed. They can't stand up. You have to be sitting. If you're on a bunk bed here, you have to get on your bunk bed, and that's how that works. And then as you keep going down, so from 7, and then from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., that's your lunchtime where everybody comes here. First, they call row 1, and here's how it works. They have to go down this row, back here, come through here.
Skip Azoa, thanks for 125 stream streaks, says 875 to go.
There's someone standing right here who hands you your lunch, and then you have to sit in this chair, and they have to sit in this chair. 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 Every table has to be filled with every seat. And if it's...
It legitimate, again, I understand that this isn't fun, but it's a regimented experience. It just feels like Chilie isn't used to being in scenarios where there is a procedure and he's told what to do. As someone who's been self-employed for the last 10 years, to some extent I understand that. When you're not used to being in a situation where you have responsibilities in this way, where people are like, all right, this is the procedure, this is what we do. You get taken aback a little bit because you're not used to being in that formal situation. But it feels like he thinks this is a fundamental human rights violation, and it isn't. This is not the part of jail that's a problem. The part where there's a schedule is not the issue.
It's not, well, then those guards will lock you to your bed for 24 hours. That's literally how it works. Then they'll say row 2 come up, and then they have to go to the back of the room, file up over here, come through here. Someone hands you your lunch right here, and then you have to fill in the chairs as you go. Row 3 and then row 4.
I know you can buy the grippy socks.
And they call this
I have some.
Boulder Highway down here because you're way off in the boondocks. It's just a way to insult people. It's absolutely horrendous. So then you have lunch from 9 to 9:30, and then after lunch from 9 to 9:30, from 9:30 to 11, you're locked to your bed again. And then as you move forward here, from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m., if...
Is it, like, I know it wouldn't be fun having your autonomy taken away, but on some level, I am so consistently stressed out with the number of responsibilities I have. I feel like on some level, being told for 4 months that there are just, like, multiple times that I have, like, 2 hours a day where I can only be laying in a bed and reading a book kind of sounds relaxing. Again, I'm sure it wouldn't be fun IRL. That's where my brain's currently at is, wait, what? You're gonna take care of my food and living situation? And I'm just gonna sit here and read books every day. Okay, I mean, not comfortable, but I've been in worse situations.
If you're in the minimum security prison, in the minimum security lockdown, as you know, they put me in medium for a while, then you get so-called free time. Free time includes you can jump on these payphones right here, or you can sit in what they call the day room here. Okay, so now let me show you guys this. So this right here is the bathroom. You see these toilets right here? So there's 6 toilets here.
Profane Priestess says, I mean, that's the appeal of authoritarianism. Oh, damn.
And
I've been called out.
The way that you can enter into the toilet is there's a door right here you can enter, but then you open the door and someone's
MH Dark Beast.
going to the bathroom right here, or you can come in through here, and then over here you can, there it is.
I want to be a cat girl, but it or no, Ashley One Up says, you're not a cat girl, but it sounds like you want to be a cat. Not a cat.
These are the sinks. You see these over here, on the far right, these light pink things. Those are the sinks. And then these red dots down here, those are the toilets. You see the door I put right there to right here? That's where the door is. You see where I took my cursor off? And each one of these is toilets. Each one of these little round thing is a toilet. So you're sitting 2 feet away from another guy.
I will never tell you what kind of animal I am.
A little brick wall.
Fact.
Here that's like 4 foot by 4 foot in between the toilets. But it doesn't matter. You look right over and you see the next guy next to you going to the bathroom.
Phoenix, I do hate anime, except for Pokemon and One Punch Man and Ultimate Muscle and first season of Attack on Titan. Did I already say One Punch Man? Probably. And Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. That it. Ghost Stories.
So these 3
Junji
down
Ito's manga, that doesn't count.
Here, they call these the shitters, and then these 3 here, these are called the pissers. If you ever heard my story from LA County Jail in 2002, it's the same thing. You know, people who are in jail can't stand being told what to do, but yet they so quickly and so easily will put up a shitter or a pisser sign, and if you don't follow it, people give you a lot of shit. They give you a lot of shit. Now, for me, because it was a minimum security, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So now
I think I saw the first episode of Psycho Pass, and I liked it, but I never watched more.
Locked to your bed from 2:30 to 7 p.m. Do you see that? So after you're done having lunch at 2:30, that's oops, sorry about that. Okay, so from 2 to 2:30 you eat, then from 2:30 to 7 p.m. you're locked to your bed. You're locked to your bed all over again. So there's 4.5 hours. You can't get off your bed unless you have to go to the bathroom. You will be locked to this bed. It is absolutely horrifically bad. So now right here. So from 7...
I feel like Chilie should have learned to do some bicycles on his bed or something. He talked about earlier, like, being on the bed is bad for his blood pressure. He could do some stationary exercises. Just saying. He has options. I get it, but...
p.m. to 10:45 if you're in minimum security. Then at nighttime, about twice a week, they'll have you use the barbershop. See the little entrance for the barbershop right there? So That means you can get your hair buzzed or get your hair cut. I went to my fade shop right down the street, and I got a fade when I got out of jail. But this is the barber shop where they give you some clippers, and you're allowed there. You have another inmate clip your hair with the attachments. Most of them are broken, and so it's terrible. And then right here, but again, 7 p.m. to 10:45 p.m. you get free time where you can sit here in the day room. There, but some TVs. There's a TV right here, and there's a TV right here that dangles down from the roof. I didn't know how to put it in, so I can just tell you. So
oh
you're
no,
sitting
he
in
did draw this. Okay, I didn't realize he actually did draw this. I thought he just found this.
in these chairs right here on the cafeteria tables. You can watch a TV.
When he says locked to the bed, he doesn't mean literally. He just means they're supposed to stay in the bed.
Here, or you can watch a TV here. You can get on the phone right here.
I want to know what was on TV most of the time.
Go into the barber shop, and sometimes you can get outside during rec yard right here. But it's not all the time. It's only sometimes that you'll be able to get into the rec yard because, it's jail and it's the height of control. So now from 10
prison, I'm pretty sure would be worse.
10:45 p.m. until 3 a.m., you're locked to your bed again. You're completely locked to your bed. You can't get off your bed unless you have to go to the bathroom. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have taken a look at the jowls here on your boy, but I am carrying.
It's so telling that he thinks this was like an unexpected experience. Yeah, he acts like he knows all about jail, but then he's talking about this like it was new for him. Weird.
An absolute ton of fat. As a matter of fact, remember I told you in the Sally port right there where this is the Sally port right here. This right here where they let the why
did he upload this as a video instead of just he uploaded this graphic as a video on YouTube? Why?
And right there, they put the nurse in right.
It's cool, Phoenix. We'll be done with him soon.
Here, the nurse will come through right here.
In fact, we can start skipping. I'm gonna get to his GoFundMe. I want to hear his pitch for the GoFundMe.
Smack dub. We've got a smack dab home run lawsuit. So I don't know all the rules here of everything that we can and can't do, but here's what I did. I started a fundraiser, and this is Agnes Batulo. She's a Filipino.
That's a completely unnecessary addendum to the statement. Jesus Christ. Peep Lord says, I think I'm seeing a pattern here.
Now imagine you're holding coffee.
Oh, I can't play this. Straight to jail.
Where are they? This kind of behavior is like that. They put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing.
That's all I could play. Even that might be too much.
This is the judge, Ann Zimmerman, and this is Brendan Bork. And each and every one of them, I'm going to sue each and every one of you until the end of time.
This next arc is going to be so interesting. And Arkenston, thanks for following.
Time.
Benikagami says, I gotta be honest, compared to being in the sun for 10 hours a day in this record heat wave, the industrial AC of a jail sounds like heaven to me right now. Try getting a real job, Chile, and learn how to deal with rules.
You're never going to get away. You're not going to get away with this. You are not going to get away with this. I swear to Christ. Zimmerman.
I swear to Christ.
You're not going to.
What's that from? There's a movie where someone says, I swear to Christ, but in a very weird way. The audio's in my brain, but I can't place it.
Going to get away with this. You're going to be petitioned, and I'm going to sue you till the end of time. I promise you. And Bork, you're getting sued. And I'm
gonna sue you till the end of time.
Let me say her name properly because she's such a tyrant. She's such a tyrant. She literally said she literally said that she asked for a suspended sentence, and then Agnes Botolo, that's the name of the DA right there. You see her, the Asian girl. Then when I went for my appeal bond hearing,
Whatever. I'm not going to engage in his stupid, weird, racist bullshit.
She said, remand him to custody. Instead of her saying, hey, judge, I initially recommended that we should just give him a suspended sentence. I stand by that. Instead, what Agnes did, the Asian district attorney.
What is with people? He's like 50. People over like 40, I'm begging you, stop mentioning the race of people for no reason. Older people do this all the time. Boomers and Gen X. Let's have a talk. Stop randomly pointing out the race of people in the stories you're telling. It's so weird, and I don't know if you know this. Stop it. I hear older people doing this all the time casually. It is irrelevant to the story. It just sounds racist. Stop it.
There, she said, no, we need to hold him in jail. You convicted him, Your Honor, beyond a reasonable doubt. The biased and unprincipled Judge Ann Zimmerman, Magistrate Ann Zimmerman. And then that prosecutor right there, you know what she did? She then said, let's leave him in jail. That's what she did. So just so you know, Agnes, that is called the Thompson-Clark ruling in 2023. That makes it so that I can sue you for malicious prosecution, which that's what this is about. And if you read the description,
I don't think that's going to go anywhere, but it'll be interesting to see.
Of this GoFundMe, it's pretty vague. I keep it pretty vague that way. So, but here's what we're going to do, just so you know. This is what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. There's something I learned in the dungeon.
Don't piss in the shitter and don't shit in the pisser.
When I memorized all of the Supreme Court justices, and I memorized all of them, you pick a year, put it in there, and I can tell you who was the Supreme Court justice, and I can tell you who nominated them.
That's fine. You can memorize things by rote. I don't know if that's very helpful, broadly speaking, when you can look that up, but okay. Toreador says, today's term of the day is vexatious litigant. Vexatious litigation is legal action in which is brought solely to harass or subdue an adversary. It may take the form of primary frivolous lawsuits, or may be repetitive, burdensome, and unwarranted filings of meritless motions in a manner which is otherwise in which is otherwise a meritorious cause of action. Filing vexatious litigation is considered an abuse of the judicial process and may result in sanctions against the offender.
I can say how long they were a Supreme Court justice for, and I memorized all of them for the next thing I'm going to be teaching, which is that we need to elect the Supreme Court and they need to be impeachable by the people. That's the next syllabus I'm going to teach. So what I realized, though, is that these guys who are Supreme Court justices and presidents and senators, I just spent so much time learning, they die young if they don't have fun. You die young. You die in your late 60s, early 70s, but you die, that's pretty young, isn't it? That's pretty young. And I don't want that. I don't want to die young. And so here's my idea. What I want to do is I want to have a party. That's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is, this is the fundraiser. And if you donate to the fundraiser, here's what we're going to do. When this fundraiser is over, and I'm going to win 7 figures for them wrongfully putting me in jail, I'm going to spend the equal amount, $100,000 in Las Vegas with the 7-figure settlement that I'm going to
$100,000 is 6 figures, not 7. 7 would be $1 million.
Get from the Clark County, because I'm going to get a huge settlement from this, and I'm going to spend $100,000 the same.
Wants to have an ex parte. Pretty good
amount I'm raising, and I'm going to get a bunch of hotel rooms, and we're going to have a giant party in Vegas. Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a huge party.
Oh, he's already raised. Oh, you're talking about the lawsuit. Yeah, I don't know. It's possible they'll just give him money to fuck off. But even that I don't find super likely. I don't know, though. I was frankly really disappointed with the prosecutor in the appeal. He did a dog shit job.
In Las Vegas. And just so you guys know, I used to work 16 hours a day. That is over. I am not working.
I don't believe that. I just don't believe Chilie worked 16 hours a day. I just don't. I don't think that's true.
16 hours a day anymore. I'm working 10 or 11, and then I'm going to stop work. I don't
believe he's going to spend that much time either.
Work, and I'm going to go spend time with my family, my friends, and my dog. I wasn't doing that. I was just working constantly. No personal relationships, no family time, no fun time. I was overworking myself. I really was. And if you read and you study the Supreme Court justices, as I did, I want to show you guys the book. As I learned that if you want to do.
Toreador says, golly gee whiz, where would all of the money he is spending on the party come from? I wonder if this is some way to say clean the cash, wash the dinero, something like that. I don't think he'll get money, so I'm not too worried
do
about
it.
it.
You can work yourself to death. And that's what I was doing. That's literally what I was doing. And that has got to come to an end. That's over. I'm now, just so you know, it's 7 p.m. right now. And when I'm done here, I'm going to go spend time with my nephews and my niece, and I'm going to go spend time having dinner with friends and family. I wasn't doing that. I was working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, constantly. Let me grab the book. Let me grab the book. So listen, we're going to raise 100 grand. I'm going to sue each and every one of them. And then I'm going to spend that same 100 grand to get maybe 100 hotel rooms for the people who donated. And then I'm going to rent different places in Vegas. And we're going to spend an entire weekend with Team DLZ. I thought about it in jail the whole time. What can I do? I don't know if I can promise to give people their money back or not. I don't care about that. Let's raise the money, sue the pants off these people, sue the pants off of them. Ann Zimmerman cannot get away with this. She cannot get, and just so you guys know, you're allowed to petition any government official anytime you want. You're not allowed to threaten them. As you can hear, I'm not threatening. I'm threatening you with the civil rights lawsuit, but you're not allowed to threaten them with violence or trying to scare them, which I never asked you guys to do. But from what I understand, when I was in jail, there were people who said to you, don't petition the judge because you can get prosecuted. That's not true. That is not true. You can petition Ann Zimmerman right now. You're more than welcome to.
Oh no.
Petition her. You can send.
Petition her for what? You're not even in jail. Even when you were, she didn't have the power to release you unilaterally.
The petition to.
She's just asking people to write letters to her and call her shitty names. God.
Michelle Levitt and say, good job, you got it right. You're allowed to petition the government. You're not allowed to make threats. You're not allowed to make people in fear for their lives, but petitioning is a...
I feel like he's going to push this too far with this judge that he's like so mad at. I don't know. He really should have learned a lesson to be chiller with all this, to back up a little bit, but I just feel like he didn't learn a goddamn thing.
First Amendment right, the right to petition. You always have that right. Let me tell you something. We are not going to stop. I swear to you. I swear to you. I swear to God. Agnes, Bork, Zimmerman, you guys, and we are connected for the rest of my life. Chevy! What's going on, Chevy? What's going on, Chevy? Missed you, buddy. I
the
missed
curse is cast.
you guys so much. Claudette, good to see you. I don't know. I mean, it was absolute and total hell. So just so you know, I created this GoFundMe. This GoFundMe is only for legal costs. I spent a little over $77,000 so far. Legitimately. And on my next live stream, I'm going to pull out all the receipts. I'm going to show you guys every single receipt.
Toreador says, look, I hate to directly reference shows. I'm an artist. I like to be creative with my references, but this isn't some epic story or Star Wars arc. This is the last season of House.
The amount of money I have spent on lawyers, $77,000 so far. And a couple of those were for different things, but $77,000 in legal fees so far. And now to sue these people properly, just, you know, we have to get the best civil rights attorney in the country because none of them want to sue the judge. None of them. I've talked to so many different lawyers that...
And did they say that she probably is immune considering it was a ruling from the bench and you can't personally sue her for that? Because I imagine that's what most lawyers are going to tell you.
Do not want to sue a judge. Well, let me tell you something. I found somebody who will sue that unprincipled and biased judge.
I'm sure he'll be happy to take your money.
And, you know, listen.
I'm sorry. He'll be happy to take your audience's money.
Sure if you noticed or not, but I've changed my verbiage ever so slightly, and I'm keeping myself electable because one of us has to get to the point in government where we make executive decisions to ban these torture cuffs. Oh, just so you know, when they came and took me to the hole, right? I was live streaming a phone call with Brian from Here's the Deal. Big shout out to you, Brian. And they came into the dorm I was in and they put me in torture cuffs. Like
handcuffs.
I can't figure out why they did that.
To restrain you. So you were restrained.
So let me show you guys something here. So right here, Okay. Let me see what you guys see. Okay, let me make it so you guys can see. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Butch the original. Good to see you. Wow, man. Good to see you, my friend. Javro, what is going on? Good to see you, man. Good to see you guys. So check this out. So in the dungeon right here, I live stream a phone call right here from this yellow payphone. Then what happened was when I live streamed the phone call.
Oh, this is when he got in trouble.
All of a sudden the phone call said the phone call has gone dead. And that's what happened. The phone call just died all of a sudden. And so I was at this yellow payphone right here. And then all of a sudden the jail guard over here announced, everybody go back to your bed. So I went back to my bed right here. And then next thing I know, a bunch of guys came in through the sally port and they said, face down, turn over. This is the sickest thing that this jail does. They make you turn over on your bed, which is a steel sheet with a little 1-inch cotton garbage thing on it for some sort of padding. They make you turn over on your face.
That's something you could actually point out as an issue, is the conditions of the specifics of the situation.
And go.
I think that's the first time he's done that.
Face down, where they bring.
It's an hour into the video.
20 or 30 guys and they're all wearing their blue murder gloves. And they're screaming at you, face down, shut up, face down. Like, then when they came in, you see where they came in when they came in through the sally port doors right here, they came in through here. Then they came to my bed and they put me in torture cuffs and then they dragged me down this hallway, which led to the hole. But the thing is they never asked me, they never said, hey, will you get up and walk with us to the hole? They never gave me that option. They just put me in torture cuffs. And then they...
Yes, because they don't know if you're going to attack them. Again, with the sovereign citizen I said earlier, even if you're like, I promise I won't hurt you, people will say that and lie. So they need to treat people as if you are a potential threat. That's not fair, but unfortunately, people ruin it for everyone.
They grab you like you're a bag dog and they grab you by the scruff.
Yes, you did. You broke the rules. You broke a big rule, Chilie.
Scruff of your shirt, and they twist their hand in it and make a fist in your shirt as they lean you forward and they're driving you down to the hole, which I just don't understand why that is. Like, why in the world did you guys treat me that way? We're going to find out if that kind of behavior is appropriate because I'm suing Clark County Detention Center. 100,000% you're getting sued. Your policies and practices are the way you guys operate. It's a policy, practice, and procedure that you guys are doing there. Let me tell you what else they did. In the Clark County Detention Center, in the handbook, it says when you go to the hole, you can have 2 fiction or nonfiction books, 5 religious books, a pencil, and paper. Well, Clark County Detention Center guards have taken it upon themselves to just decide on their own, outside of the Clark County Detention Center handbook, that they're not going to give you a book. You're not going to get a pencil. That's what.
Yeah, that's something that you should bring up, genuinely. If they're supposed to, as per their policy, do that, and they're putting you in there with nothing, yeah, that's potentially a problem. Is it a sue-worthy problem? I don't know. But again, weird that it took you an hour to complain about anything that's an actual thing. Peoplord says, Chilie reminds me of the chicken in that one episode of MASH with the chicken that wasn't a chicken. No idea how to be quiet when he should. Peoplord says, Chilie reminds me of oh, they just repeated.
That's what they decided. Well, when they put you in a 6-foot by 10-foot room with no book and no pencil, you go crazy. You start to go crazy. You literally start to lose your mind. It's the most... It is the most inhumane and cruel punishment ever. And so then I asked them, each and every one of you guards, each and every one of you that I went up to you and I said, hey, and just you guys know who you are. When I said to you, hey, they put me in the hole, they didn't give me a book and they didn't give me a pencil or pen. Each one of them told me, oh, you're supposed to get a book and you're supposed to get a pen. I wrote down your names right after you gave me the quote. If you read the Clark County Detention Center handbook, it says that I'm supposed to get a pencil, supposed to get a pen, and supposed to get 2 fiction or nonfiction books and 5 religious books. And the Clark County Detention Center Dungeon Masters, they've just decided on their own that you don't get a book. Well, I believe that's CUP, cruel and unusual punishment. And I
Did you point out to them that you didn't have a book during?
Believe that that's going to go in my federal civil rights lawsuit. So, and there's this sergeant in there, that's Sergeant BATU. This guy, he got some cuffs And I have 2 different jail guards.
Yeah, the 5 religious books thing is because, like, in Christianity, there's pretty much the Bible, but in other religions, there's more than one. So, for instance, like, in Islam, there's, of course, the Quran, but there are also books of surahs, which are things that are supposed to be, like, sayings of the prophet. So, it's because in other religions, there's more than one religious text. Benekagami says, did Chilie forget that he was charged with resisting a lawful request and resisting arrest? With those charges, he could have been put on a list of potential problem prisoners who need extra caution when being handled. It's possible. I don't know, though.
On the record that I wrote down exactly what they said to me, that he makes sure that his handcuffs are the small handcuffs and that the chain between them is short so that you're being tortured when he puts the torture cuffs on you. I asked him, I got 2 guards on the record saying that this sergeant particularly uses them because he knows they'll be extra painful. Every single guard I talked to about the torture cuffs, each and every one of them admitted that torture cuffs are torture. So when I talk to you
I'm going to press X to doubt on that one.
Guards, I ran back to my bed and I wrote down every word you said with your name right by it. That way in the...
Does he think that that's like, does he think that's hearsay? You're not... Chilie, you can't just, like, be like, he said this, and that's, like, proof? You could write that down about anything. And I'm not even directly saying he's lying, though in terms of the torture thing, at minimum, he's lying to himself about what they said. Does he think he could just make claims in court like that? That's so interesting.
Federal civil rights lawsuit, there would be no mistaking who said it and what you said exactly.
How did he get out? His appeal got granted.
Now, for the 1 out of 5 guards, that was really cool. And there's a couple, I don't want to say your names because there's people working with me to do this next book. Thank you. Thank you for being a normal person. Thank you for not treating me like I'm worse than a rabid dog. I appreciate that. And there's a couple guys in there who I wish you'd get a different job, man. But dude, thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for treating.
Yeah, the appellate judge was interesting. Anyway, enough of Chilie for the day. If he does anything interesting, we'll cover it, but we've been doing Chilie a ton since he's in jail, so probably going to back up from that for a while, at least until he does something interesting. We'll keep on top of the lawsuits he's filing and stuff if anything interesting happens. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. This is interesting. This sovereign citizen attempts to arrest a judge. This is probably going to be the last one for the day, and then I'm going to get ready for the Cassifel stream. Like I said, we're going to be talking about comic books in particular. I think we're going to touch on the new Ultimate Spider-Man run. So if you're interested in that, that stream's coming up after this one.
They fucked my ass up in there. That freezing cold and everything. They did a number on me, for sure. Sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna get him inside so we don't have to deal with the whipping wind.
Oh, is this thing plugged in? Oh, it's not. See that plug?
Oh my god! The metal detector is unplugged in this court. That's a shame.
So I'm fair.
Chilie's got another court date coming up for virtually the same offense in Las Vegas, so he might be turning 50 in jail on September 11th, 2024. That would be interesting.
I mean, I'm okay to go with.
Like a raid or just sometime later? Oh, just a little later. I'm going to basically end this stream, go use the bathroom, maybe grab a snack, and then immediately get back on with Cassifel.
Through it because it's not gonna.
I would probably just keep the stream running, except it's easier to, like, make it so this stream is the Sobsit stream, and then it ends, and then this one's the Cassifel stream. That way for the VOD, it's easier for people to watch just what they want to watch.
Buzz me. And these signs are something else, aren't they? Now, I've filmed in this courtroom before, and they tried to stop me, but I threatened them with citizen's arrest.
Hydrate.
This sign over here says persons and parcels entering courtroom are subject to search. That's not true. It's a 4th Amendment violation.
Not.
No search or seizure without a warrant signed by a judge.
Incorrect. It's no unreasonable search and seizure. It doesn't require a warrant necessarily, depending on the context. You're in a courtroom, so that's allowed. In a traffic stop or something like that, I believe the standard is reasonable articulable suspicion, some kind.
Based on an injured complainant's sworn statement of damages, which just cannot occur for this. And then this one over there is saying pursuant to UTCR 3.180 and SLR 3.181. And I don't know what either of those are. They're not ORS, Oregon Revised Statute.
That Stein can't stop me, because I can't read.
Or some sort of court rule or something, which is not a law and doesn't apply to me. Just narrating for my video.
What videos you make?
What's that?
What videos you make? Just like exposing corruption? Or?
Yeah, citizen's arrest.
Oh yeah, dude.
Random guy. Hell yeah, dude.
Look at these cops, you know what I mean?
They're criminals, man.
Yeah.
This here is the 6-page.
They're the most dangerous gang in the world.
Yeah, for sure. This here is a 6-page criminal, federal criminal.
Against you?
No, against whoever's taking part in this against me.
Okay.
For extortion, deprivation of rights under color of law, conspiracy against rights, treason, domestic terrorism, and conspiracy
Treason.
to attempt murder.
Murder? Conspiracy to murder?
Dude, they fucked me up in the jail. They did not do me a service. They like froze me and they like stuck me on the concrete for like 6-7 hours. I'm all screwed up. I have motor neuron disease, so.
Sounds like you should get a lawyer and actually sue the jail instead of trying to unilaterally arrest the judge, because that's not going to work.
They dang near killed me. I'm not kidding you. Yeah. Eventually they came in and found me just basically catatonic, shaking, and just...
Having like a seizure type?
I don't know. I always shake, and the more I use my muscles, I get to a point where I'm just like completely out of control.
Your nerves?
Yeah. And they put you in those concrete cells, and there's no padding, there's no place to sit.
Yeah.
You're right on the conductive surface, so you're freezing.
They just leave you there for fucking hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to when he gets to the judge.
All right. Right now, Mr. Walker.
Oh, I don't answer questions. Pursuant to the Fifth Amendment.
Baja with the 30 stream streak says slowly rebuilding the watch streak that Twitch stole from me.
Oh, my sister. You don't have to answer. I'm not.
He means in terms of heat, like heat, not electricity, in terms of conductivity.
Asking questions regarding crime. I'm asking you. Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution offers you the right to remain silent against any criminal prosecution or any kind of investigation.
Are you providing me legal advice?
No, there's a comment that you have to ask.
Okay.
So, are you recording right now?
Oh, I don't answer questions pursuant to the Fifth. I will go ahead and invoke my Fourth Amendment right to be secure in my property and my First Amendment right to freedom of press, though.
No, we gotta get through this one. If you don't want to. Are you waiving counsel?
I am.
Okay. Did you fill out the waiver of counsel form?
You should have it, don't you? Do you not have it?
Okay. You're answering my questions right now.
I'm in charge of what I answer. I hold my own counsel, so I'll decide.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. You have an electronic device that's beeping on your chest. You're not allowed under the rules.
Ah, it's a chest camera. I wondered how it was moving the way it was, and I could see both of his hands, but it was too low to be a, like, head GoPro. We're in a body cam.
During the court proceedings, I don't know if you're recording or not. You want to answer my question.
GamerG says, I don't know about you all, but I am getting concerned of the reach of sovereign citizenry. The fact that this guy can go to a government building and tell a random person I'm doing a citizen's arrest and their response is, hell yeah, brother, is not a good sign. No, it really isn't.
We are going to reset
the cultic milieu is growing like the blob.
This till tomorrow, so we need to come back tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
The more it eats, the stronger it gets.
And you shall have no devices on you or any kind that could potentially be recorded.
Okay.
And you do not hold you in contempt.
At this time, I'm going to go ahead and place you under a private person's arrest under ORS 133.225. I'm including in this federal criminal complaint extortion, deprivation of rights under color of law, conspiracy against rights, treason, domestic terrorism, and conspiracy to attempt murder under RICO. At this time,
not RICO.
Deprive me of my First Amendment right to counsel.
Not at all. You're welcome to apply for an attorney or hire.
Did you say First Amendment right to counsel?
Well,
that's incorrect.
You told me you didn't want one.
I'm already placing you under arrest for treason. Treason is...
Pretty sure right to counsel's under the 6th?
Actually, because treason is something that enemy combatants do during wartime.
The United States isn't at war.
You actually don't get a trial. So from this point forward, you will no longer hold the bench anywhere because traitors are not allowed in public service. At this time, I'm placing you under arrest. I would like to get a bailiff to transfer custody of Judge Hung, and then I would also like him to contact a federal agent to transfer.
He's telling the bailiffs to arrest the judge. I've seen this before. It doesn't tend to go well.
For custody.
Mr. Walker, you can tell me you're under arrest already. I'm giving you 2 options.
Pursuant to ORS 133.225, a private person may arrest another person for any crime committed in the presence of the private person, if the private person has probable cause to believe the arrested person.
Dillis Filler says it's called one of the amendments, Hannah.
Person committed the crime. I do have that. A private person making such an arrest shall, without unnecessary delay, take the arrested person before a magistrate or deliver the arrested person to a peace officer. Is there a magistrate here?
Power word citizen's arrest.
To deal with this.
Pretty funny.
Right in front of you.
No. You will never sit the bench again because you've been accused of treason, and you don't get a trial because we're...
You don't get a trial, Judge! I just get to decide unilaterally. Justice.
War.
He sounds nervous. He should be nervous. He's trying to arrest a judge with no authority.
I'm going to give you 2 options right now. Option number 1 is you come back tomorrow without any kind of potential recording device. And we can complete.
This judge is so nice, the fact that he lets him come back. It's incredible that the judge doesn't arrest this guy.
This process. Option number 2 is I can find you in contempt for inability to complete this process.
You're not a judge, and in fact, you're in my custody.
So which option would you like to go with?
At this time, I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
I like that it'll selectively be like, I'm gonna remain silent now after I've told you you're under arrest and you're not a judge anymore, and now I won't answer your questions.
Let me ask you this. If I let you leave now, will you come back tomorrow 1 o'clock without me?
Why can't we do it now? It's pretty obvious that I'm competent counsel for myself.
Because of the device.
Ben Kagami says, you know how you said a few assholes ruin things for everybody? These conspiracy wingnuts and Republicans are basically going to necessitate a crackdown on First Amendment rights that 20 to 40 years down the line, the left is going to have to fight to pull back because the crackdowns will be overcorrection on stopping disinformation campaigns.
You won't ask it. If it's not a recording device, that's fine. But you're not allowed to record during the recording. So again, and if you don't want to answer the question about the recording device, fine. But the more you not have any device on you tomorrow. So do you want to do this tomorrow, or do you want to?
I agree. The judge should. I'm pretty big on competency hearings for sovsits in general, just because even if not all of them are like mentally ill, a decent number are. So yeah, probably.
You're no longer a judge. You've been arrested for treason. You don't get a trial. You are guilty under wartime rules already.
I need you to understand that I'm unable to complete these proceedings right now because you don't answer my questions. Or I'm giving you an opportunity to come back tomorrow. Which would you like to do?
At this time, I'm placing you under arrest under Oregon ORS 133.225. The charges include extortion, deprivation of rights under color of law, conspiracy against rights, treason, domestic terrorism, and conspiracy to attempt murder under RICO.
I'm going to give you one more chance to sort out.
I'm ordering you to take this man into custody. I'm going to transfer custody. Are you the sergeant? Are you the ranking officer here? Yes. I am going to transfer custody to you. I need you to contact a federal agent, and this is the federal criminal complaint outlining all of his.
B-Time T says, this guy's like, why is my spell not casting? The judge knows counter spell, 9th level.
Charges.
I'm going to try to work with you as much as possible, Mr. Butler. I'm going to give you a chance to come back tomorrow.
I'm ready to proceed with the hearing today, and I'm here today, and I'm handicapped, so I'm not going to be going through a whole bunch of unnecessary and extra steps, because that's not equal protection under the law, which is my 14th Amendment requirement. I am guaranteed equal protection under the law. That means that I don't have 10 hearings. I have the same amount of hearings as what's standard. I'm here ready to talk.
It depends upon what hearings are necessary. Not every trial has the same number of hearings, and you're making this hearing completely useless by spending all of it doing this, so they gotta redo it.
About whatever you want.
They need to arraign you, probably.
I'm refusing. And honestly, I'm going to tack on a disrupting my business estate charge if you do that.
Even though you're willing to talk about anything I want, is that a recording device?
I don't answer questions pursuant to my 5th Amendment right.
Talking about anything I want. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to this to walk around the whole drink and attempt 30 days custody.
Your Honor, who's the complainant?
There is no complainant.
Exactly. I have a 4th Amendment right not to be seized without a warrant.
The state would be the complainant, most likely.
I need a federal agent here to deal with this federal complaint.
I need a federal agent?
There is no complainant. Lawyers, you guys know there's no complainant. That means I cannot be seized without a warrant. You cannot get a warrant unless you have an injured complainant that is going to sign a statement of damages. You don't have that for the original case, so this original case is not legitimate in any way. There's no complainant, and I actually moved to suppress the warrant because it's illegal on those grounds, and I also moved to dismiss the case because there's no warrant, there's no complainant. And I have a right to face my accuser. That'll be a 6th Amendment right. And there is no accuser. There is no crime. I've never been accused of a crime. You don't, your charging document doesn't even have a complainant listed or anything.
Marcus Drake says, I like how he appeals to the lawyers present as if the judge is not himself a lawyer.
Okay, I'll give you one more chance.
Do sovereign citizens not know judges generally start as lawyers? I haven't thought about if they know that.
You want to try this again tomorrow?
Gamer G says, 8 homosexual federal agents arresting me.
Without a recording device, or am I going to continue to hold you in contempt?
Under duress, I will go ahead. I mean, hold on a second. You're saying I'm going to jail no matter what?
No, I'll give you a chance to come back tomorrow.
Replicant 2019, thanks for following.
If you come back without any devices and cooperate with me tomorrow.
And I will agree to that under duress.
Okay, so come back tomorrow. I'm not going to hold you in contempt. No devices, nothing that beeps or shines that they could possibly record. And then we're going to go over.
What about my? Do I have a 4th Amendment right to be secure in my property? Can't I have whatever property
No, you have a right to unreasonable search and seizure. That doesn't mean you can carry any property you want anywhere, including into court.
Not take whatever property you want wherever you want. 4th Amendment right is to protect you from taking your property.
But isn't this a public trial?
You can't bring a gun in here. That's your property.
Well, this is public property, and I have a 2nd Amendment, so actually.
Do you want to?
Oh, don't finish that thought. That's close to a threat. Actually, I can bring a gun in here. Your metal detector was unplugged.
Back to mom and cooperate with me if you want to go to jail. Let me know appearance.
Well, if you're asking me what I want, I'd rather proceed right now. But I certainly don't want to go to jail, so I will come back tomorrow if that's the only option available.
Well, that's not the only option. You know the other one, but I think it's a better option.
Right.
So we're going to try this again tomorrow. I need you to cooperate with me. I'm not trying to throw you in jail if I don't have to, but I have to get through this hearing. So we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I need you to not have any devices. And just answer my questions. I'm not charging you with anything. The state's charging you with crime. I just need to get through it and your case moving on, okay?
I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate your sympathy.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, okay?
Okay. One other thing, though. At trial, we will be bringing up the Confrontation Clause again. So,
Totally fine. But
okay.
we need to get through several steps before we.
Okay.
Okay. See you tomorrow. Need help?
I got it. Sergeant. It's signed on the back.
Is he handing it to the sergeant like he's gonna do something with it?
Okay. All right. Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I did it, and I walked out. I did get threatened, though.
Yeah. Hey.
And they just
He's not gonna show up tomorrow, is he?
reset the hearing, but I have a YouTube channel if you want to watch it. I'll be uploading it.
Well, my phone is just died, so.
Oh, it's not going to be uploaded. But if you want a card, I could give you one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna lie, I'm pretty sure this band has been following me since yesterday.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it.
Says the male.
I know, but
Female.
look at me. They beat me up as easy as you. Look how I walk. All right.
Just like says. I just had to put it out there. It's like so suspect that it was in Ontario, and then all of a sudden they're here sitting in front of me.
It is a small world.
They left and came back.
It is a small world. One time I ran into my dad here, and the last time I saw him was in Rapid City, and we hadn't been in contact since, so it was just a weird thing. Cool. Yeah, check out that if you want.
Oh boy. Anyway, so that's it for Sob Sit today, everyone. Like I said, soon I'll be getting on with Cassifel to talk about comic books and the new Ultimate Spider-Man run. So, that'll be fun. Thanks everyone for hanging out and looking at Sob Sits with me. If you're not going to be there for the comic book thing, I will be back tomorrow with maybe VHS Vault, maybe Pickup Artist Season 2 finale. Not sure which one. We'll decide. But, yeah, we'll be doing the costume voting on the Discord as per usual. And, yeah, I'll be back soon with Cassifel. So I'm just going to end the stream and not do a raid, because we're going to be back in just 5-10 minutes or so. But, yeah, see you soon. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Alright, see you in a little bit. Gonna go pee and grab a snack and, you know, set up the visual stuff for Cass.